Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Ishaan Khosla Tutoring Services. Today we're going to do something a little different, something we haven't done before. For those of you who are new, please do subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon for an instant notification whenever I do upload. Another reminder, I also do offer one-on-one tutorials for the LNAT, the Personal Statement, and all kinds of college essays. You can sign up in the link below. If you have something written down and you would like me to proofread or deep edit it, my Fiverr is in the link below as well. So let's jump right into it. Today we're going to be destroying my sense of self-confidence. We're going to be looking at my first ever personal statement that I submitted to schools at the age of 17. And this was when I was applying to the UK for the first ever time, coming right out of high school, or rather engineering prep school. And we're going to dissect it. I'm going to show you what are the major flaws that I see and mistakes that you should never ever make. And we will jump right into every aspect of it where I think I could have done a lot better. And I hope you just don't repeat the same mistakes I did. So I applied to a couple of schools, beginning with King's College London, University of Oxford, LSE, Durham, and Manchester. These were the 5 colleges that I submitted at the time. And I was applying for the coveted politics, philosophy, and economics degree. For those of you who don't know about this degree is one of the most sought after degrees in the United Kingdom. And if anything, is actually the one that's regarded as the governing degree. So you have a lot of prime ministers in the United Kingdom that actually come from PPE at Oxford. And I was very sure of my chances, very confident. And this is a student who's never stepped into the world of politics or understands anything about economics. And that will become very evident in the next couple of seconds. Fun fact for those of you who don't know, Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss are also both PPE at Oxford. So just to show you that this is a very coveted degree for a very specific set of people who have an understanding of what they're doing. I clearly didn't. And to be very honest, I don't know how admission officers sat through my personal statement. Now looking at it 5-6 years after, I kind of understand why I didn't get in. So an update on where I did get in. I got rejected at Oxford, I got rejected at LSE. At King's College London, they offered me their politics, religion and society course, which at the time I wasn't too keen about. Maybe now I would be. I did get into Durham and Manchester, but they weren't my first choices to begin with. But I want to show you where I went wrong. I want to show you where I believe I made some grave errors that you shouldn't ever. I will run you through actually 2 or 3 drafts of my personal statement to show you where I was going wrong constantly. And you can see that even in my final draft. And then we will go over a little bit about big takeaways of what you should not be doing in your personal statement. So if we look at my opening sentence, right? This is my opening sentence of the personal statement. In a society where the myth of being an engineer or a doctor is on a short path to earn respect, I yearn to gain my nation the respect it truly deserves the Security Council. From the very get-go, says nothing about me, says nothing about the subject I'm applying for, says nothing even about the United Kingdom. It's a vague statement speaking about society and some weird sense of how me writing this personal statement or the outcome of this personal statement would lead me to getting India the respect it deserves the Security Council. And of course, then I dive down and I say studying a degree like PPE would give me the technical and moral backgrounds I need to understand various events, which again means not much. What does various events mean? And I liked this line at the time, but now that I think about it, it doesn't really make too much sense. Philosophy shall teach me what to strive for. Politics will help me convert moral yearnings into schemes. And economics would assist me in converting these schemes into logical models. Someone who has a very thin understanding of what he's speaking about very clearly. And the word schemes doesn't sound like the best to put out when you're speaking about serving people in governance with a PPE degree. So from the very get-go, right off the bat, I'm completely in the wrong zone. You can completely make that out. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm making general statements about society, about my philosophies, about what I think the PPE degree could be, without even knowing what either of the 3 letters stand for, or what ground they hold. So, first red flag. Diving into the second one, this is probably my second or third paragraph. My interest in Al-Shabaab sparked me to write a research paper on the educational drawback in Somalia. I was very keen to show people my research. After weeks of research and analysis, I was able to outline a viable thesis and effective model to counter the problem. When I pitched this to a leading BBC journalist and renowned author in East Africa, Mary Harper, she was extremely inspired and believed the Somali government would be keen to build further on it. Her assertion had sparked interest to study East Africa further. Red flags all over. Al-Shabaab is an extremist group. It has nothing to do with the PPE degree. Neither does East Africa. I'm not going for East African studies. I'm not going for African studies. I'm not even speaking about an African country at the moment. I'm speaking about some vague research that I undertook as a 16-year-old, believing that this is my gateway into Oxford. And I thought it was a great idea to include this in my personal statement. It makes no sense for a reader, an admissions officer sitting at Oxford LSE King's, reading this and going, maybe this is the right candidate for politics, philosophy, and economics. Okay, it shows me you can research, but I don't even know what the research is. What have you said about the research? So I've literally written about a paper which I've written, but I haven't really written about it.
Why?
I haven't said a word about what the research is. I've said Al-Shabaab, Somalia, problem. Mary Harper, this journalist, really found it cool. I think East Africa is a great thing to study. I am all over the place, as you can see. Reading further, and this is I think the icing on the cake. This is one of my first ever intros that I wrote. Okay. First ever intros, that was one of my early drafts in the personal statement. In the words of Nikita Khrushchev, not a great person to start a personal statement with. Maybe let's dive further. Politicians will build bridges where rivers don't exist. The Politics, Philosophy and Economics course analyzes this ideology perfectly. Politics deceives the public into believing the viability of this bridge. Philosophy established what the politicians sought to establish on moral grounds. With this structure, economics factors in everything from the emotional to financial constructional costs.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
I'm holding my head right now because I don't know what 17-year-old Ishaan was doing. But please don't do this. Okay, you want to quote Nikita Khrushchev to begin with? Please do, but this quote makes no sense. Okay, politicians will build bridges where rivers don't exist. Is not really about PPE, but as much as the craft of politics itself, if I'd analyzed it this way. But what I'm saying is that the PPE course is perfect for this quote, but I don't explain it. I say, oh, the PPE is a great way to go because Nikita Khrushchev's quote actually analyzes that well. But I don't say how. I say politics deceives people. I can't believe this line is there. Politics deceives people. And this is, I'm applying for a course where most prime ministers in the United Kingdom come from. And I've actually written politics deceives people in my personal statement. And
another one.
Though I want this to stop now. But I promised myself that I will show you this and I'm going to do it now. One of my many introductions. 11 years ago, my father exclaimed, Ishaan, read the paper more often. To 11 years later, Ishaan, please, I don't want to hear about Daesh, Trump or North Korea. What started out as a compulsion soon started quenching my never-ending thirst for curiosity. As Rabindranath Tagore once said, you can't cross the sea by merely standing in the water. I believe the PPE program would help understand and be an active part of the events that occur around us today. Okay, so the first line is a complaint from my father about the fact that I read too much. This is not me saying I read too much, it's my father complaining about it. Then I say something about my never-ending quest, my never-ending thirst for curiosity, not the best way to frame it. The Tagore quote, you can't cross the sea by merely standing in the water, makes no sense here. The PPE program then, this is completely disjointed from this paragraph, help me understand the events that occur in the world today. What events are you talking about? Are you talking about Doja Cat's new concert, Taylor Swift's new album? No. What are the events you're talking about, Ishaan? This is a terrible, terrible start. Says nothing about what I know, says nothing about the degree, says nothing about me relaying my interest in the degree. It really says that, oh, I read too much, I know a lot about Trump and North Korea, but the PPE degree tells me a lot about events. It's a terrible way to start. I want to show you some aspects which I thought were good. I want to give 16-year-old Ishaan credit here, and I want to show you some parts which I feel are good, and some parts which I think should be highlighted. In a world where the idea of democracy seems flawed, human rights seem misunderstood, and individual rationality overtakes simple logic, actively involved citizens are an exigency. This is one of my conclusion paragraphs, and I'm sure I took someone's help to get me to craft the sentence. But this really proves, it really collates and compresses everything I'm trying to say. Where I'm saying that PPE creates active citizens, that's probably the sentence right before this, and why active citizens are so important today. And I think it's a beautiful way to end, because it collates the problems of the world into this one simple sentence, and it tells me what the PPE degree does for that. So it not only shows that I know what the degree is, I know what the problems of the world are, but I also know what the outcome of this degree would be to someone who has come from this degree. And I think that's a beautiful sentence. It's a tight, well-worded, really well-written sentence. And I'm not patting myself here on the back. I'm looking at it objectively, just to show you that this could be a good way for you to analyze how you end your personal statement. Another example, I say, till middle school, I persuaded myself that engineering was the appropriate field, like I just said. However, a year down the preparatory program for the joint entrance exam, I came to consensus that my interest in analyzing data can easily be coupled with my interest in economics. This grave yet awarding decision gave me a lot of room to truly understand and work on my interests. The vast mathematics this course entailed helped me build my interest in statistics and solving complex problems. What I'm showing you is that, or rather what I was showing the admissions officer is that, okay, even if I haven't studied economics in school, the fact that I have an engineering background with a lot of math and statistics involved, I like analyzing puzzles, I like analyzing complex problems, I like analyzing the world, which I believe is a core aspect of this degree, which it is. And this is a way for you to show that to them. I think this is, again, a very well-worded paragraph to show you that even if I don't have this, the skill set that I bring from my background into this course proves that I'm a worthy candidate. So I'm not only telling you, I'm doing three things. I'm telling you that I haven't studied economics in the past, but I have the appropriate skill set. I'm telling you the skill set actually matches very well with the course. And third, I'm telling you that because it's my interest to solve complex problems through analysis and statistics, I'm actually a great student because I do this with passion. So just a summary and a recap of the biggest mistakes that you need to avoid. A bad introduction, which says nothing about the subject or your understanding of the subject. Avoid at all costs. Delete that paragraph off your draft right now. Second, lack of knowledge regarding subject matter. Very clearly in my earlier draft, you can see that I know nothing about politics, philosophy, and economics. I'm speaking about vague events which I believe collate to politics, philosophy, and economics, but they don't really. So you really need to read up the subject matter, go to the course websites, go to the university websites, read what the syllabus is, read what the modules are, understand what's being taught, understand what you're trying to get into. I didn't know that. 3, irrelevant information, which reads like a resume. Precisely this, in my research paper on the Al-Shabaab, which was read by a BBC journalist, makes no sense to the course or what I'm trying to say. Okay, you can say, oh, I have undertaken research projects like this, great, but it's not supposed to read like a resume where you've given me a description of what it is without actually engaging and showing me how this works with the course. The fact that you're just throwing facts on your personal statement, saying, oh, I did this, I did this, I did that, and not relaying it to the actual narrative, the larger narrative of being why you're the perfect student for this course, please don't do that. Please avoid that at all costs. And fourth, nothing to show for the subject. Now this is different from lack of subject knowledge because I have nothing to show for it, in the sense that I have done no work, no work experience, no internship, no volunteering, or not even any community work to figure out what politics, philosophy, economics is. And again, show and tell becomes very important. So if you don't have something to show for the subject, I would really encourage you to dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper to figure out the kind of work you've done, the kind of internships you've done, the volunteering experiences, or even events you've organized, or events you've been a part of at school, and try and see how that relates. And if you can't form a narrative, delete it. Delete that aspect from your personal statement. And then go back to the drawing board and figure out why you're the right student. If you can answer that question, why are you the right student for this course? You're completely there. So even if you can throw in academic work, say, oh, I've read this, this and that, show me a little bit of where you're coming from. You know, anybody can read these books. The Undercover Economist was the #1 book that was read for this course. Everybody writes about it. Letters to a law student, every law student writes about it in their personal statement, but admissions officers are tired of reading them. You can go onto the websites and look at summaries of those books, but what have you done to show me that you're interested in this course? What have you done to show me that you understand this course? And that is important. So if you're doing online courses, summer courses, that's a perfect gateway into this question. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will actually be releasing a video very soon on my current personal statement, the one that just got me into UCL for law. So stay tuned for that. Do subscribe, like, and share this video so I can get it to as many students as possible who probably might require this. And again, a reminder, I do offer one-on-one tutorials for the LNAT and the personal statement. The link is in my bio and below this video. You can also, if you have something written up you'd like me to proofread or edit, I have a Fiverr that's running at an all-time discount, so you can make the most of that. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to drop it in the comments. There's a lot more content coming your way regarding the personal statement now that we're in crunch time. So best of luck. I hope you have a great application cycle, and do reach out to me for anything you require. Thank you.